Hello and welcome to Behind the Story. I'm your host, Eli Sherman. Kim Kalunian and Dan McGowan are off this week, and we have a very special show for you because for the past year, we've been working on a docu-series called The Last Don of Providence. And joining me today is Tim White, managing editor of Target 12, and Johnny Villella, chief videographer of 12 News. And the three of us and many other people have been working on this project for a long time. Episode 1 is now there for people to watch.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And before we jump in, guys, because we have a lot to talk about, I want people to hear a little bit of the voices that they're going to hear in episode 1. Take a listen.
All of the Patriarcha crime family, which ran all of New England, was still here in Providence. The headquarters was on Atwells Avenue, and that's where Raymond Patriarcha spent all of his days.
Hi, I'm Tony Fiore, the Master Thief.
What were the streets like? What did it feel like?
Well, when he was in and ran it, I mean, the criminals had it made because, you know, it was like nobody was going to bother you.
Louis Minacchio lived and breathed La Cosa Nostra from the day that he decided to be a career criminal at 12, 13 years old, right up to the time he passed. Everything he did was by a code. He believed in that code.
There was a time when Raymond could control everything in Providence. In that respect, the crime in Providence.
The one known official boss on the street in 2007 was Louis Minacchio.
He was the last one standing.
The last one standing.
Yeah, so we've been hearing those voices for a long time because we've been working on this for such a long time. But Tim, I want to start with you, because you came to me almost a year ago now to the day, and you brought up something that I now think was kind of a crazy idea. What triggered that?
You know, what triggered it was Louis Minacchio died in December of 2024. Yeah. And we were working on his, we knew he wasn't doing well, so we were working on his obituary leading up to that and getting that in the can, as we say. As I was thinking about his life, it dawned on me that the arc of his life mirrored the arc of New England La Cosa Nostra. Mm-hmm. Like, it paralleled the rise and the fall of the Patriarcha crime family. He lived that. Over 97 years that he was on this planet. He got into the life of crime very early in his teenage years, as we know from our reporting, and he stepped down as mob boss in the wake of a federal case that came to light in 2011. And so I thought by telling his story, we'd be telling a big part of New England's story, because warts and all, organized crime has a big part of why we are who we are. But to pull the project off, Eli, we needed this guy, right? I mean,
it doesn't happen without him.
No, I've been working with John Villella for 19 years now.
19 years. Yeah.
And, you know, a project like this has to have a guy like that. And I remember coming to you and pitching it to you right after I talked to Eli. Yeah. You were the first person I came to. And I said, here's what I'm thinking. And as I was telling you what I was thinking of doing, and not just a regular story, but a major project, right? We didn't know how many episodes it would be, but we knew it'd be big.
Right.
I could see your eyes started to drift off, and in the moment, I thought, he's already thinking,
of course,
about how this is going to look.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take yourself out of the news angle for a second and go into special projects mode.
Yeah.
And you automatically go into, okay, how many cameras are we going to use? Where are the interviews going to be at? Are they going to be at nighttime, during the day? You know, what's the B-roll going to look like? What's the look going to be like? I want this look to be a little bit different than a regular news package. I want it to have a little kind of special projects, you know, Netflix kind of special feel to it. So yeah, my wheels started getting going. I did not know how many episodes it was. If I knew it was 4 episodes,
none of us did.
I would have gone out. No, it was. I think it needs to be 4 episodes.
Yes.
I think it tells, like you said, it comes full circle at the end. But yeah, you know, as a videographer, you start thinking about, you know, what little tricks of the trade can I use to make it look special.
You pulled all the tricks out of that bag. I'll tell you that right now.
Appreciate it. Well,
You really did.
We've had help with it. So.
Yeah.
A lot of help. There's been a lot of people, and you're going to hear from James Bartone later on, who's also been a real key player in all of this.
Yep.
I know it's a little hard to think about, guys, because we are literally still working on 3 and 4, so we're not done.
Yeah.
But 1 is dropped, 2 is coming this coming Monday, December 1st, and I want you to, because it has been a year now, guys. What has been the most challenging part for both of you putting this project together? And I'll start with you, Tim.
It's not even close. It's the writing on this. It's a different style than we're used to in this. It's we do long form projects in Target 12 all the time.
Yeah.
We do big tent pole investigations, if you will. But the style of writing for this was very different for you and I, Eli, and we had intense editing sessions with Ted Nisi, helped copy edit each and every single one of these episodes. And, just making sure that the storyline was cohesive throughout. And a lot of that storytelling is told through the editing process and trying to visualize, the old saying in what we do is write to the pictures. So what are our elements? Who have we talked to? And then sewing all of those together through words. I mean, the fun part of what we do, all of it's fun. The fun part of what we do is going out and gathering, reporting out a story, and doing the research and all of that. The hard part is then getting all that material together and then putting it into one storyline.
Yeah, what is the common thread here that pulls together all these different
That's right.
elements?
That's the big question.
I found, Tim, it was helpful in having Menacchio as sort of the common thread that brought all of this together, right? He was our main character, but this shot off into so many different places. You hear about from so many different characters today, but also historically. And you're right, it was tough to do.
We spent a lot of time in the archives.
That's true.
Yeah.
A lot of times in the archives.
Yeah.
Big thanks to the Providence Public Library, the Providence Journal, all these different organizations that we leaned on to find all these information that went all the way back to the 1927. As you mentioned.
When he was born.
Johnny, I think I can guess maybe what the answer is for
Guess,
you.
go ahead.
I know what it is.
What is it, Eli? I have it right in front of me. Actually, I brought some props here. There's all 3 segments, all 3 episodes right now that I've been working on. But yeah, the editing.
The editing.
Yeah.
Is that what you had for me?
I thought it was spending so much time with me and Tim.
Well, the bonding moments we've had over the last, it seems like 9 months has been good. But yeah, the editing. I mean, like I said, so let's backtrack a little bit. When you gave me episode 1, I took it home. And I took a long walk. I took about a 2-hour walk with this script. Nobody knows about this.
No, this is the first time I'm hearing of it.
I had to really visualize what I wanted to do with this episode. It's not a news piece. You can't just be laying shots down left and right. And we talked about extending shots, extending the music, extending sound bites, let people really take it in. So on my walk, I'm just flipping through and going, okay, in this segment, I want it to look like this. I did a lot of overlaying with pictures and video. We have a ton of mugshots. So it really was taking myself out of news mode for a second. Out of that, we get 2 minutes for a news story, or a minute 15, or 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and extending myself on the shot wise.
Did you feel like you were doing something totally? I mean, you've been in news for 30 years more.
30 years will be next year.
30 years.
Yeah.
And that's a very fast-paced environment and all of that. Did this feel uncomfortable in a way because you were pushing yourself and what you're normally doing?
It felt different. It felt odd, and I had to really talk myself out of, all right, Johnny, you cannot do the news pace that you usually have on street stories or that fast. I mean, we have some of that throughout this, but I really had to think about, shot wise, what did I have to work with? How much footage do I have? I have lots. A lot. We have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So you really have to put yourself in special projects mode. Me and you watch a lot of documentaries on the weekend. We always text each other. Hey, do you see what they did here?
Yep.
So really thinking about those and putting it into our own creative angle on it.
Okay, well, we have to take a short break, but when we come back, we're actually going to take you behind the scenes. Stick with us. Hello and welcome back to Behind the Story. I'm your host, Eli Sherman. Kim Kalunian and Dan McGowan are off this week, but I am joined by Tim White and Johnny Villella, and we are talking about the new docuseries that we just dropped, The Last Don of Providence. A lot of production, a lot of man hours went into this project. We're going to give you a little bit of behind-the-scenes view at exactly how that was put together. Take a watch.
More than a year in the making.
The one known official boss on the street was Louis Minacchio.
Months of research. Minacchio witnessed and lived the rise and fall of organized crime in New England.
You know, and Roberts even said at one point he wanted out of the mob altogether.
Dozens of interviews.
I think I was the great love of his life.
Brian, they had him, and they let him go.
Unbelievable. Totally unbelievable.
Cut together from a mountain of footage.
Each interview we did has 4 to 5 cameras, mountains of file video.
It was a loud bang.
Pictures, mugshots.
All to bring you the one mob story you've never heard until now.
He wanted to kill you, he was going to kill you.
The Last Don of Providence, a special 4-part series, now streaming only on the 12 Plus TV app.
I want to watch that.
Yeah, bringing back some memories there.
Yeah.
I want to start with you, Johnny. You know, when we go out for a shoot, Tim and I are spending a lot of time finding the person, getting them comfortable, talking to them, getting them sort of ready for this interview. But when we go there, I mean, Tim does the interviews, but you're running the show behind the scenes. Tell me what you're thinking about and all of the different equipment that goes into it.
I mean, we've used multiple cameras. I brought one with us today, the Canon C200. This was one of the cameras we used. I mean, we used the Canon V10. We used the Sony ZV-1F. I mean, all these numbers probably don't mean anything to anybody, but going into that, like you said, I have to really go to the location beforehand, scope it out. I think me and you went to a few spots, really scope out where we're going to sit. Are there going to be people behind us? Is there lights? Is there, what is it? And
if it's outside, where's the sun?
Outside, where's the sun? Are we in the shade? Inside, we did one nighttime shoot, which was really cool on a rooftop. So I really had to think about how I want this documentary to look. What is the look for it? And also, going to these certain locations, you really have to figure out where the camera is going to be and stay out of everybody's way and see if there's people behind you. Do you want to be in the background? So there's certain elements we have to go through. But yeah, we used probably 4 to 5 cameras for each shoot. Sometimes we used lights. Sometimes I said, let's just go with natural lighting. I didn't want the lights in the shot for some of the interviews. So each shoot was different and each location was different. In each location, we used different cameras for it. So it is a multitude. When you watch the story and it goes back and forth, you'll see the shots that we use.
Tim, I want to ask you too, because like I mentioned, you're doing the interviews. Sometimes it's taken us weeks, months to set up these sit-down interviews, which are a big deal. You know, tell me your mindset going into those shoots, into that conversation. How are you planning ahead of time to make sure that that conversation goes, you know, as well as you can possibly hope?
You know, you and I had a lot of conversations ahead of time with the people that we interviewed. We got to know them. We met many of them for coffee. So we were really informed going into the actual interview where John, you know, was set up with all his cameras and things like that. And sometimes, you know, just meeting with people, getting to convince them that, you know, this is a project that was worth being a part of and going on the record for. And you're looking at some behind the scenes shoots that was at the Waterfire. Is it a museum? Is that what we call that? I mean, that location was unbelievable. Event facility. It was great. This is the room that we did the work in that entire time. So look, going into those interviews, it's being prepared, but it's also, you know, we call them interviews, but they're conversations. It's listening to the person that you're talking to and, you know, feeding off the answers they're giving you. One answer will beget another question and all of that. So it's just, you know, a lot of prep work that goes into that, both in landing the interview. Sometimes some interviews took like security clearance to get them to happen without saying who that was or who the individuals were. Others were just like, okay, this project is a big one and something they want to be involved with. And I should note, Eli, there were a lot of people that we weren't able to convince to go on camera, but they still would talk to us off camera on background, and that helped shape our storytelling and our writing.
Yeah, and I want to mention, because obviously you're going to hear from the three of us who've worked very hard on this. We have another key person coming on in a moment to talk about it, but there were a lot of people that worked on this project. Our whole building really sort of jumped on ship here and helped us deliver on this so far. I shouldn't take a victory lap yet. We're not done.
Yeah,
but,
a couple more episodes. Well, including just went to our general manager at the time, Pat Holey, our news director, Karen Resendez. I mean, you had to have high level buy-in to do a project like this because it was very different. It's on our 12+ TV app. That's where people can watch it. And so that's not just something the three of us can snap our fingers and make happen. You need building-wide support to pull something like this off.
All right, well, we have to take another quick break, but as I promised, when we come back, you'll hear from another key person who made this all possible. Stick with us. Hello and welcome back to Behind the Story. I'm your host, Eli Sherman. I'm joined in this last segment of the show by Tim White, who you've been hearing from, and now we have brought on James Bartone, whose official title here at 12 News is On-Air Marketing Manager. Yes. But he has very much been the senior producer and man behind the scenes, putting everything together that looks great in terms of graphics and sort of effects, some of the effects that you will see in the show. He's a real wizard, and so we're very pleased.
And was on all the shoots that we did as another videographer.
That's right.
Unbelievable
and
stuff.
He has been putting together all the promos, which I want to show one of them. You might be watching this show on a Sunday. Episode 2 will be dropping then tomorrow on December 1st. So this is the promotion for episode 2. Take a listen.
Episode 2 of The Last Don of Providence.
Any idea where Minacchio was when he was on the run?
There were rumors he was in France, he was in Europe, he was skiing.
We obtained some FBI documents that were marked secret and confidential. We think they're kind of remarkable.
Unbelievable. Totally unbelievable.
Episode 2 of The Last Don of Providence drops Monday, only on the free WPRI 12+.
Man, I could watch those promos
James.
over and over
really
again. So, James, I want to ask you, because normally, here at 12 News, you are putting together promos for TV stories or maybe some marketing things that we have going on. But this was a real sort of change in direction for you.
Yeah, normally I'm making TV promos, Target 12 promos, right? And my job is to tell a story in 30 seconds or less, which is kind of challenging, but it's fun to try and do it. And this was an opportunity to help you guys make a show that's 30 minutes, right? So it was kind of like, them. Wow, oh my God. And the storytelling that you guys did here was amazing.
Yeah, and I think it's critical for people to understand, because I didn't come from TV originally, and when I was just a viewer and never had any hand in TV, how much is going on in the screen. And when people are watching this or anything really that has effects, that has graphics, James is really the person behind the scenes that does that. And, when you're trying to think through a look, or, sometimes we said, okay, James, we're thinking this, like, how do you go to the drawing board, and how does that creative process work?
I mean, my mind sometimes just goes crazy, and I just create some look, and I'm just, a lot of times I end up throwing it out, and I'll start over. But it's just,
You had a real gritty look for this one, particularly with, like the little things, right, Eli? Like the typeface, the fonts that people will see when someone's name comes up. Yep. You emboss their name, but their title isn't, and it's got I think it's literally typewriter was probably what you used. Yep. I mean, I don't know how many iterations of that you went through, but was that the feel you were going for in this one?
I definitely wanted gritty, and I think my experience doing the Target 12 promos, because those are generally gritty, I felt like this was pretty natural to kind of come up with a look for this.
And it was nice that we had some breathing room, Eli, especially for Johnny and for James, because look, all television stations, Channel 12 included, have a look. Yeah. We have certain fonts that we use and all it has to be consistent, so it's clean and all of that. And, we were given sort of free range on this to do a unique, original look and style. throughout the entire thing, which must have felt like flexing a totally different muscle for you.
Yes, it really was. It really was. There was a lot of moving
Anxiety?
parts, a lot of anxiety. Yes.
So I want to and talk about the look. You can see it behind us. It's sort of this blue and red. It's a very Channel 12 look. Last Don of Providence actually has kind of a yellow tint to it. It has a yellow, gritty look to it. And I want you, James, because if you're willing to share, the sort of main screen that you'll see of the show, sort of the poster, if you will, is a profile shot of Louis Minacchio sort of overlooking the city of Providence.
Yes.
Very on brand. Can you tell us where that image of Providence came from?
Many years ago, I painted the skyline on some weekend in my house, and it now hangs in my living room. And I took a photo of that painting and then photoshopped it into this artwork.
So
It's awesome.
We have a sort of a painting look of a photo of a painting that you yourself did.
Now it's on TV.
It's a James Bartone original piece of artwork.
And it's going to be imprinted in my brain forever.
Oh, forever, yes. Get a tattoo of it, maybe.
I asked these guys on the first part of the show, and I'll ask you now, what would you say has been the most challenging part for you working on this project from start to finish?
I think just juggling my normal job, right? I'm the promo guy, so I make TV promos. And you guys were very nice at kind of scheduling some of the interviews around my schedule, which I thought was great. But there'd be some mornings where I would be making a weather promo with Tony Petrarca, and then we head off to go interview, Luigi's lover. So
which did happen.
Like, wow, this is pretty interesting.
That's not a boring day.
Not a
Go
boring
from
day.
Tony Petrarca to a former mob boss's lover. That's something you tell at cocktail parties right there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and people will have to keep an eye out because I think that James makes more cameos in this.
I think so.
In this series, because you see him, he's the one who's making a lot of these moving shots along with Johnny. That the camera is suddenly moving on our subject, and so he'll kind of pop into screen at one point. And so people have to keep a lookout there because I think it goes Tim White, then James, then me, then Johnny, in the range of how many times you show up.
And that's such a big part of the storytelling too, just the way John and James shoot it. They're listening during those interviews and keying in on where the camera should be pointing and all of that. So when it comes back and we're in post, it's clear that they weren't just a passive listener to that moment.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are just about out of time, guys. And I want to take a moment to explain to folks how you can watch this show because it is streaming exclusively on the 12 News Plus app. It's a TV app that you download on your smart TV the same way that you do Netflix or any other streaming app. And if you're watching this on that app, this is the same place that you can watch it. So you get out of this video, you can go and watch it there. As for Behind the Story, this is available on our website, and our podcast is also on wherever you download your podcasts. But for now, I'm Eli Sherman. Thanks for watching Behind the Story.